With the success, the major success of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, there's been a lot of talk about possibly being a Shrek 5. People have been really craving Shrek 5 a lot these days. I've been seeing a lot more talk and a lot more desire for another Shrek film than I've seen for a very long time. And it looks like we're gonna get our wish granted. And it looks like we might be closer to getting our wish granted than we might have even thought, because recently Chris Meledandri, if I said his name right, I hope I did, was out giving interviews. He's in charge of Illumination, and he also has some DreamWorks attachments. So he was giving some interviews about, talking about they're going to do Sinks 3. They're going to talk about doing a Secret Life of Pets 3 and expanding that universe. But in the interview, there came a point where he talked about Shrek. And here's what he had to say about doing another Shrek. It's not that dissimilar to the process that we went through with Mario, where you look at what the core elements are that audiences have loved and you do your very best to honor those core elements. And then you're hard at work to build story elements and new characters that take you to brand new places. The original cast is a huge part of that. Though no deals are in place, he said, negotiations with the actors are going well. We anticipate the cast coming back. Talks are starting now, and every indication that we've gotten is that there's tremendous enthusiasm on behalf of the actors to return. And that comes to us from Chris Meledandri via Variety. All right, so they're in talks to do now. And what's interesting about the article is they don't mention it by Shrek 5. What they say is a Shrek reboot, and they're hoping to get the original cast on board to do the Shrek reboot. So I find the wording of that also very interesting, because they don't say Shrek continuation, they don't say we're continuing the franchise, they specifically say reboot. Now I would imagine if they're going to bring the entire cast back, this would be a continuation of the Shrek franchise. And honestly, right now, the iron is hot. You've got to strike on this. People are craving for a Shrek 5. I totally believe that this is going to go through. If they're talking to the cast already, and we've also had in interviews in the past couple weeks, Eddie Murphy himself said that he would be down to return. He'd also be down for a Donkey movie, which in this article, they ask him if Donkey could have a standalone movie like Puss in Boots, and he says absolutely. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I think Donkey works best as a side character. But the fact that all these actors are talking, Mike Myers, Cameron Diaz, Eddie Murphy, I can't remember the guy's... Antonio Banderas, I think is his name, who plays Puss in Boots. Obviously, he would be in because he's already done Puss in Boots. I think Shrek 5 is happening. I think we're going to get the announcement that Shrek 5 is greenlit, ready to go, starting production in like the next coming weeks. And you know what? I'm actually pretty excited for a Shrek 5. Shrek has definitely made its impact in pulp culture. It has definitely made its way into, I mean, it's even in the, what's it called, the national what's that thing called, National Film Registry. It's been preserved. It's been certified as like a classic, one of the films that we have to culturally preserve. So it's definitely made its stamp. It's definitely made its mark. It's had generations of kids growing up with it, generations of kids, now adults and still kids today, who love these characters, who loves this franchise. Shrek 5 would make such a box office hit. I totally believe this is going to happen, and I'm more excited for a Shrek film now than ever, especially after seeing Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Now the question goes to you guys. What do you guys think of Shrek 5? Are you excited for this Shrek movie? Are you going to be disappointed if it's a reboot and they just completely scrap the original films and do something fresh and new but with the same voice cast? Comment down below. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions, what you guys think about this, and let's take a look at what you guys are saying.